My name is Blake, and I grew up in rural Montana. The kind of place where the highways stretch so straight and empty that you feel like you're driving through the middle of nowhere even when you're not. Where towns are small, lights are sparse, and people don't ask questions they don't want answers to. My father was a long-haul truck driver, not the kind that crossed the whole country, mostly regional runs, hauling lumber, equipment, and supplies between logging towns and distribution yards. He preferred the back roads, said they were quieter, faster, fewer problems. There was one stretch of highway he always hated. Locals called it Devil's Corridor, though nobody really knew why. It was just 8 miles of farmland between 2 towns, with no houses, no businesses, no streetlights. Just fields, fence lines, and old scarecrows left to rot in place. I never thought much of it. Until the night everything changed. It was late September, around 1 in the morning. My dad was driving home from a delivery, alone like always. Weather was clear, radio on low, nothing unusual. That's when he saw someone standing on the shoulder. Not waving, not panicking, just standing there. He told me later that what bothered him wasn't the person. It was how calm he looked. No urgency, no movement, just watching the truck approach. Hitchhikers weren't rare out there. People ran out of gas, broke down, missed rides. My dad had picked up a few over the years, so he slowed down, rolled the window halfway. "You need a ride?" he asked. The man nodded and walked toward the truck. My dad said that was when he noticed something felt off. Not visually, just a sense that the moment felt heavier than it should have been. The man got in, and nothing changed. No shift in weight, no sound, no movement of the suspension. My dad said it felt like no one had actually entered the cab. They drove in silence for a while. My dad tried making conversation, asked where he was headed, where he'd come from. The man didn't answer. Finally, he spoke. "Just drive." The voice sounded wrong. Not scary, just strained, like someone forcing themselves to talk. My dad kept going. A few minutes later, he said he felt overwhelmingly tired. Not sleepy, not drowsy, heavy, like his head was filling with sand. He pulled over, and that's where the memory gets strange. He doesn't remember falling asleep. He just remembers realizing he wasn't driving anymore. The truck was moving, straight, steady, and his hands weren't on the wheel. He panicked, tried to grab it, and that's when the man spoke again. "Don't." My dad said the word didn't sound threatening. It sounded practical, like advice. My dad shut his eyes. When he woke up, the truck was stopped in a shallow ditch. The passenger door was open. No one was there. State troopers found him not long after. Said he must have dozed off and drifted. Wrote it up as driver fatigue. The injuries were minor. The story wasn't. After that night, my father went back to work. He still drove, still paid bills, still talked to people. From the outside, nothing looked wrong, but he stopped taking night routes. He avoided that stretch of highway completely. Not dramatically, just quietly, like it wasn't worth explaining. He never picked up hitchhikers again, not even during storms, not even when they looked desperate. If we drove through open farmland after dark, he got quieter than usual. Not scared, just distant. Once, when I was older, I asked him if he still thought about what happened. He said, "I think about what didn't happen." I asked what he meant. He stared at the road for a long time and said, "Some things don't need to follow you to change you." He never told the story again. I didn't believe him, not fully, not until years later. I was driving home from work, late, empty highway, no music on, and I saw someone standing on the shoulder. Not waving, not panicking, just standing, watching. I slowed down without meaning to. Then I remembered my father's voice. Not what he said, how he said it. I didn't stop. I didn't look back. I just kept driving. And I didn't feel afraid. I felt watched. That's worse.